What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Sports to the Wire. For those of you who are new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. I am your host, Rashid, and the other host, Beric. He was supposed to be here, but listen, things happen, so we got Kenneth filling in for him. And today is going to be a really good show, a controversial show, because I'm responding to the comments that was made by Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James regarding the Breonna Taylor shooting, in terms of the officers actually not being charged, except for one officer who deservingly actually should have got charged, pretty much. And we're gonna get into that. And but Kenneth, take us off, man, because this is something that you're very passionate about, man.
There's an African proverb that says a goat is never innocent.
Oh, and one thing he says today I'm gonna lose my black card. My black card. So yeah, we're gonna see this. I'm sorry to interrupt, brother. I want to throw that out there for the audience, man, and keep them tuned in here, man.
Let me see if I can remember the proverb. There's an African proverb that says a goat is never innocent when the judge is the leopard. The death of Breonna Taylor once again brings home the point that the system of white supremacy cannot be reformed. I said it once and I will say it again. Anyone unwilling to confront the reality of white supremacy will be condemned to remain a slave. Wherever there is oppression, there will be resistance. The policies of white supremacy have led to the destruction of the black family. We must end the nonsense of political correctness and address the reality of where we are. Breonna Taylor was murdered by hateful police. When you understand the domestic terrorism that happened that day, that night, you have to understand this was put together to a point where they knew what they were going to do. Now, they actually used what was called a no-knock warrant, okay? This is done 60,000 times a year in the United States of America, okay? Once again, had it not been for the rioting and the marching, this Breonna Taylor situation would have never come to fruition. Breonna Taylor is a woman of excellence. I believe that our sister was murdered. There's no way that anyone can bring up any type of evidence against her dealing with her past, when what we're dealing with is what happened on that fateful day. So from my point of view, our sister was murdered, and all of those police officers need to be in jail. There is no excuse for what they did. There is no excuse for what the judicial system did. They threw this case underneath the rug, and thank God for the brothers and sisters who kept it alive. God bless you, Breonna Taylor. Rest in peace.
Well, definitely, I definitely do agree in terms of her resting in peace. I hate to see anyone die. It's inevitable. I think we all gonna die, but it's just how we die is the actual problem, in a sense, though. And I think she was only 26 years old. But we have to go over some facts over here. There's a lot of myths out there concerning Breonna Taylor. So one, I wrote down some notes based on a 49-page report that was done since 2016 with surveillance, with audio, and so let's see over here. This is Miss Taylor was not sleeping. They said that she was sleeping. She wasn't sleeping. She was in the drug game with Jamarcus Glover. That was actually indicated on the jail phone calls. The warrant had Breonna's name on it, so the warrant was actually for Miss Breonna Taylor's house. Now, they don't just put out warrants for no reason. You know, I never had my house raided or anything like that. And so do you, Kenneth, because we're not in that world, you know? And had the house and the vehicles. It was for the house, and it was actually for the vehicle. They conducted a knock warrant. So there was this thing saying there was a myth going around saying there was a no-knock warrant, but it was a knock warrant. What else? So Kenneth Walker admitted that he heard someone knocking on the door. He said that he didn't actually hear it was the police. Now, the first page on this report over here is that the LMPD homicide unit learned that the vehicle of their most recent victim, Fernandez Bowman, was found in a rental car that Breonna Taylor recently rented. I mean, these are facts right here. This is all public records. You can go look them up. Phone records implicating Breonna Taylor in drug dealing. The phone records were from the jail. So all this stuff is recorded about, of her actually running drugs back and forth. And one more thing. So one part of the warrant was not verified. So that could be a problem right there. Is that true, Kenneth?
That whole entire case is subject to severe scrutiny. They murdered our sister.
You're not going to be able to prove murder. You know, you can't say that these officers went in there to intentionally premeditate kill Miss Taylor. That's going to be really, really hard to prove in court. So, like I was saying, we was talking about gun safety and gun laws, Kenneth, and our prep over here, and you're responsible as a citizen, as an officer, that when every bullet, you're responsible for every single bullet that actually leaves the chamber. So there was witnesses saying that Mr. Walker actually fired first, and the officers returned fire. And I think the officers are granted a little immunity in a sense, though, when it comes to.
Why don't you just tell the truth in that which an officer outside of the home fired into the home and shot the officer, which is considered to be friendly fire?
And that actually happens, you know. But that's actually caused by who actually shot the gun first, though. That's the main thing.
No, sir. Look. The death of Breonna Taylor once again brings home the point that the judicial system in America is racist and is built on racism. Racism is not a question of attitude. Racism is a question of power. Racism gets its power from a corrupt form of capitalism. And this is the reason why I say this. The only solution is revolution. Only revolution can end this brutality, this misery, this degradation. You cannot vote it away. You cannot pass laws upon it. The system of white supremacy must be destroyed. I have been called an extremist among other names. Being called an extremist, I accept that because we are living in extreme times. Our sister, Breonna Taylor, was murdered, okay? Regardless of what is said. You cleverly forgot to say that the officer outside shot into the home and actually shot another officer. Friendly fire. You didn't say that out there. What you're trying to do is build a slam job against this young lady.
Listen, man, she implicated herself on the jail phone, man. They pretty much ratted out on each other, not realizing that the phone calls were actually recorded. They snitched on each other, man. I mean, the transcripts are right there, dude. I mean, you can't make that type of stuff up. You just can't. And I'm sorry that, you know, she actually really lost her life, man. But this is the risk that you actually take when you get into the drug game, man. It's a murky world. You're gonna definitely have negative interactions with the police. You're gonna have negative interactions with rival drug dealers in a sense that wants to rob you, you know, or fight over turf. I mean, this is the stuff that comes with the drug game, man. It's risk. It's risk, and that's why, like I said, I try not. I stayed away from that stuff. I grew up around it. Like I said in our last show, I grew up around the drug.
Sir, you mentioned the police. Let me be very, very clear. Let us understand what the role of the police is. The role of the police, okay, the role of the police is to protect and serve the systems that rule over the people. The role of the police is to enforce the relationship between the oppressed and the oppressor. Now, this system does not allow the police to do justice. The system wants the police to be very heavy-handed. The police are not fit to be caretakers of justice. It is only when a police officer puts justice first that they are fit to be the caretakers of justice. Our sister, Breonna Taylor, was murdered by unjust police.
So, all right, so you're saying the cops actually went in there and intentionally murdered her?
I'm saying that the police officers went in there with a warrant and they started shooting. Let me explain, sir. She got shot 8 times.
Yeah, but the thing is that...
Don't give me but. She got shot 8 times. You don't need to shoot someone 8 times. Sir, that is an execution. Do you understand?
It was a gunfight. It was a gun battle. I don't know about an execution. It was a gun battle.
She got shot 8 times. That's an execution. Now you can sit there and try to explain away the actions of the police. I won't do that. They murdered our sister Breonna Taylor, and that is wrong.
But how you actually going to prove that in court, though? That's the main thing. How are you going to prove that in court?
Well, that's
you can't prove if you try to if the prosecution. Listen, all right. For one thing, the officers were clear. You know, so they there was witnesses that actually saw what transpired, and they actually believed the witnesses. The witnesses were very credible compared to Mr. Walker, because like I said, credibility is everything. And Jamarcus. Well,
and you should understand that credibility is everything before you start speaking the things that you do. You are reading from a report that basically did not say that there was friendly fire. You had to go back and find another article that told you it was friendly fire. But you're going through a report.
But Kenneth, all right, but listen, so all right, it was friendly fire. He still shot the gun first. He still shot at the cops. You said it yourself earlier, and I prepped that he shot at the cops first.
No, I never said he shot at the cops first. Okay, let's look at the scenario, okay? You are in your home. You are in your home and you are relaxing and you're upstairs. You have a gun. You hear someone kicking your door. You grab your gun. Now, if you're dealing in the drug trade and someone says, we are the police, you're not going to believe them because you're dealing in that type of life. So you start shooting because you don't know who these people are. Well, first of all, let's have an explanation here. How is it that there's a gunfight and this young man gets to get on the phone and dial 911? Explain that to me, sir. If there's a gunfight. And explain to me how the police officers...
Whoa. It was, he admitted that he heard the knock. It was a knock warrant. It wasn't a no-knock warrant. And a no-knock warrant, I'll give you that, Kenneth. But it was a knock warrant, and he actually admitted that he actually heard them knock. He said he didn't actually hear. He actually didn't hear the. He didn't hear.
How is it that he's able to make a phone call with his girlfriend laying there dead?
I have no idea, man. I wasn't there. I mean, that stuff will actually come out.
I was trying to explain to you that you can't do you can't do something like this and come half. You have to come full. You're coming half. You're opening up your mouth without all the evidence, and you're thinking that what you're speaking is facts, and it's not. And it's not. The bottom line is that those police officers, they did surveillance. They knew who was in the home. Okay, packages were delivered to that home. Now you're not even mentioning the fact of the slum real estaters who basically want black people out of homes, and they make up charges and they do things of that nature so that the people in the houses lose the house.
Kenneth,
You're not going.
They said on the jailhouse phone that it was drugs.
When did that happen? When did that conversation happen, sir?
Hold on. Let me get to the report.
Watch our time, sir. Watch the time.
Yeah, I got it. Let me get to the report. I have it right over here. This happened.
You see, because you're making statements.
3/13/2020.
350 when?
3/13/2020. That's when they actually, 3/13. Yeah, it was between Mr. Glover.
Do you know? Now let me ask you a question. Now that happened in January, February, March. That happened in March.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're bringing that up to say what? You trying to?
Well, you're making it seem like she was an innocent person over here, man, and she was in the drug game over here. I mean, she implicated herself in the whole thing.
That happened in March.
Okay.
At the time.
All right, so and they have a warrant. They have a warrant now. To actually on her premises and the vehicle that she was actually driving.
At the time of her death, she was an EMT. Am I correct?
There's questions surrounding that. Yeah, she had to resign from a city job that she actually had.
Surrounding that, it's like being pregnant. Either you are or you're not. Was she an EMT at the time of her death?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
You guess so.
No. She had to. No. She had to resign. No. She wasn't. She had to resign from her job. You know, because that's when they actually did the investigation on the dead body that was found in the rental car.
Okay, now that's another thing. Nobody I know knows about a dead body in her car. So I don't know where you got that from. It's amazing to me that you sit back and tell everybody else, oh, you're getting CNN talking points, MSNBC talking points.
Dude, if I could make this report up right here, this 49-page report, I'm not gonna be doing these YouTube. This is all over here, man. Is that report from the police? It's from the prosecution's office. Yep.
Right. So, do you honestly think the prosecution is going to tell on themselves?
This is going. They didn't draft this up now. They started this in 2016, and they
like I said before, and I'll say it again. A goat is never innocent when the judge is the leopard. Do you understand? You bringing up her past means absolutely nothing to me. My sister was murdered.
All right. We're gonna wrap this up over here. We'll wrap this up. Let us know what you actually think about this stuff in the comments. If you're new to the channel, please share it. Even if you're currently subscribed, share it. Share it is caring. And when you share, the universe actually shares back with you. Peace. All right, let me turn this off.